says, Mom, I always wanted to be a firefighter. You're like, oh, forget it. You know, I said, no way, you can get really hurt. And he said, no, this is what I want to do. I want to help people.
I was scared, nervous, excited for him. You know, he had told me he wanted to be one when he was in high school. I'm like, why?
I don't know if you know the show Cagney and Lacey, the 2 women police officers. She was really pretty impressed with him. And I don't know if that's what started it.
When he was younger, maybe that's why he wanted to be a police officer. He worked at McDonald's when he was in high school, and they were held up. And so he was, there was a gun, you know, he was held up by somebody that came into McDonald's, and he was pointing the gun at Phil, and he said, "Are you the effing manager?" And Phil said, "No, sir."
My first inkling was when he got into the Dukes of Hazzard TV show. That was about like 9 years old, but more seriously when he was about a sophomore in high school. And he definitely, you know, said he was looking at that career. And yeah, I was, you know, anything my kids would want to do, you know, their heart and soul is into it, and his was.
I think her compassion and caring for the underdog and for children and for women. I think women as police officers, I think, are very good in domestic problems with children and women.
I know she tells me that they call her the girl. She doesn't like that. Or they call all of them the girls, oh, that girl. But no, I'm not so much worried that she's a woman in law enforcement. I think she can handle herself really well.
I know Ryan one time came close to firing his weapon and it shook him up. He told us about it, and I could tell it bothered him a lot. And I think police officers worry about that. It's not something that they just do. And I think the public doesn't stop and think about that.
It was difficult having him get up from the Christmas table to go help deliver a baby. But it's just, it's wonderful. I've never ever been sorry. I worry, but never been sorry, just proud. I talked to him about that even before he went into law enforcement, and I said, you're going to have circumstances of that. There might be a day or a time where you have to fire your gun and not at a deer that's been hit along the road, you know, that kind of thing. I was a little concerned about that in the beginning.
There was a call one time where a gun was drawn towards her, and I heard about it later, and that really frightened me. Those are the times when I go back to, why couldn't you do something like be a teacher, or, you know, something that's less dangerous? But, you know, I know she's where she wants to be, and she's good at it, and it makes her happy, so I'm happy.
It concerns me and it worries me that, you know, there's some people out there that don't like police officers for their own reasons, and so they have it out for cops, period. You know, so they don't care who they are. They're just a police officer. That worries me.
We used to respect police officers, and you used to think of a police officer as being a friend. But now when you're watching TV with all the media, there's a lot of people that do not care for police officers and have a lot of disdain to them. And I think that worries me more than it did years ago. I've always respected police officers, but they don't get the respect anymore that they used to.
Whenever I talk to him, even now, you know, if I tell him, be careful, you know, it's like all the time, like, be careful, I love you. He goes, okay, I will.
I always think about the officer and those split-second decisions and how difficult that is to know when their life is in danger and when somebody else's life is in danger, and how do you decide what to do?
We owe those young men and women so many kudos because you don't realize what they give up to be a volunteer. dinners with family, outings, birthday parties, all the different things, because they respond. You can see them. He goes nowhere without his pager and his beeper, and if he's needed, he's gone.
If something does happen, this is what he wanted to do.
I just try to remind him of the goodness that people do too, and to support him and to let him know that we're proud.
She's a good mom, she's a good wife, and a good person in general.
It's amazing for me as a mother to see her with these many different hats and these many different roles that she can take on.
He's a father, he has 3 children, he has a husband, he's a good person, he's more than just a cop, he's a son.